Hello and welcome in to this midday edition of Locked On Capitals. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. My name is Dan Holme. I've covered the Capitals for the last 3 seasons for Locked On and various other outlets before that. I'm also the host of the weekly show called The Capitals Minutecast, available wherever you find your podcasts. And I want to thank all of you for making this your first listen of the day. So the news that we've been waiting for, well, it's come true. Alex Ovechkin will be back in the lineup as the Capitals prepare to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto. And if there's one thing I know is that Alex Ovechkin really likes playing in Canada, or more specifically in Toronto, which is a hockey mecca. And all things considered, the Capitals have played well in Ovechkin's absence. And one of the things I've said on my show is that it's unfortunate, of course, that Alex Ovechkin has had to miss so much time, given the fact that he is chasing down Wayne Gretzky, for one. And number two, he was firing on all cylinders, putting up 15 goals before he got injured. He had a hat trick and then 2 goals and then that injury. So if he can hit the ground running tonight against Toronto, that could be huge. Like I said, Ovechkin is set to return to the ice for the Capitals after recovering from a fractured left fibula. And if I recount back, the one thing I remember is I was just really thankful that it wasn't a knee injury or something of that nature that would have sidelined him for, potentially the rest of the season. And that would definitely have set back his chase of the Great One. Head coach Spencer Carberry announced that Ovechkin will make his comeback on Saturday against the Maple Leafs, he said, after the team's morning skate. So what was a bit of a question mark as far as Alex Ovechkin is concerned has now been answered. He will be in the lineup. Now, it'll be interesting to see how this team performs with him back in there, of course. And, it's kind of a funny thing to say, as he is the captain of the team and has been on the team for so many years. But sometimes, the team is set in its ways without Ovechkin in the lineup. I wonder if there will be any, maybe temporary setbacks with him back in the lineup. But the one thing I know about Ovechkin is he is definitely invested in this team. And I guess what I'm trying to say is he could have just sat at home on his couch in the recliner, just taking it easy till he was ready to return, but not the case. All reports have said that he has been with the team the whole way, in the locker room, in the meetings, wanting to know all the ins and outs of the team, that he is totally vested with the Capitals. But taking a look back on that injury Ovechkin sustained on November 18th during that collision with Jack McBain while playing against UHC, he has been sidelined for the past 16 games. During that time, however, the Capitals have a 10-5-1 record. So all things considered, the Capitals have played very well in his absence, and that's a good sign as a Capitals fan that they know how to win games even when they have a guy of that magnitude out of the lineup. Of course, we are very happy that he is back so he can help, A, help the Capitals win games, but B, continue his hunt and chase of the Great One. His return is anticipated to significantly enhance the Caps lineup, especially as the team's offensive performance has struggled in his absence somewhat. To paint it with a broad brush, the Capitals have done rather well, but they really kind of took a stumble against the Bruins. Dylan Strome commented on the situation, noting the team's efforts to maintain a favorable record while recognizing the need to improve 5-on-5. I think that is where the Capitals will really take it to the next level with him in the lineup. Strome expressed optimism about incorporating Ovechkin back into the power play to boost their rating, their scoring on the power play. Now, you take a look at Dylan Strome. He is a guy that had a tough job, and I don't think he realized it at the time when he signed with the Capitals that that he was going to have such a tremendous responsibility. And that responsibility I speak of course, is to pick up where Nick Backstrom left off. As we know, Nick Backstrom has assisted on more Alex Ovechkin goals than anyone else. And Nick Backstrom, who was the guy that had that hip resurfacing procedure done, and it didn't respond quite the way that he or we had hoped, and stepped away from hockey indefinitely and will most likely spend the last season on the LTIR. Probably not going to play another game of professional hockey. So that created quite a void. Who is going to be the guy, or who would the guy be to fill that void? And Dylan Strome has been just that. And it's interesting, on breakdown day, Alex Ovechkin talked about the fact that he lacked chemistry with the centers, mentioning that it was a bit of a turnstile at that position. But Dylan Strome has definitely cemented down that role and definitely helped elevate Ovechkin's game. Now, in his previous 18 games this season, Ovechkin has recorded 15 goals. Making him the league leader at the time of his injury and 10 assists, totaling 25 points with a plus-minus rating of plus 15. And this is still the Alex Ovechkin that got off to that slow start last year. And some people were saying, is he washed? Is he this? Is he that? Ended up finishing the season strongly. Now, he continues to rank among the NHL leaders in high danger shots per 60 minutes and remains on pace for 91 points this season. Now, additionally, Ovechkin is just 27 goals shy of Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record. Now, initially it was said, and some people projected, that maybe he could catch him by February or March. Of course, that has been pushed back some. Again, it will be interesting to see where Ovechkin is in game number 1. Is there going to be a little bit of a lag there, or is he going to hit the ground running? So, it's going to be definitely a storyline to follow, and coming back at just the right time. The Capitals coming off this Christmas break here, and in second place in the Metro, with the New Jersey Devils in first place. The Capitals definitely don't want to give up any ground. The Capitals could definitely run away with it, and I think they could surpass the Devils. But if they also lose some games here, there are teams underneath like Carolina that are nipping at their heels. Now, what will it look like potentially tonight? A top line featuring Ovechkin, Strome, and Alexei Protas. Alexei Protas also having one heck of a season. A second line of McMichael, Dubois, and Wilson. So kind of returning back, or is returning back to what we saw before Ovechkin got injured. And, McMichael with Dubois and Wilson, that is an exciting line, as well as McMichael is having a breakout season, just really exuding confidence in scoring on a regular basis. A third line comprised of Verona Eller and Mangiapane, of course, with Ovechkin back in the mix. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out of the lineup, right? As you take a look at Miroshnichenko and Lapierre, who were the scratches, which player is going to be the player that most likely will get sent down to Hershey? That is the question. Miroshnichenko, all things considered, has played rather well, but, has kind of stumbled in the last 2 games. So the fourth line includes Duhaime, Dowd, and Radish, with Lapierre, like I said, in Miroshnichenko as extras. The one thing I know about Lapierre is he has not taken off where he left off last season. So what we're hoping is that if is Miro, that he can kind of pick up the pace where he left off, or, kind of to think outside of the box. One of the things I had mentioned, that this would be a prime opportunity to get a look at a player like Ethan Frank. Definitely keep with Locked On Capitals. Keep it locked to Locked On Capitals, and I will have you guys covered today with another episode after the game. Alex Ovechkin is back. This is the news that we've all been waiting for. I'll talk to you guys again next time.